Hi, my name's Paul Tilstone from Festive Road, the consultancy on a mission to create better travel and meetings management. And today I'm in conversation with Tony DeStalfo from Serko. Mr. Tony DeStalfo, all the way from where? New York?
I did come from New York. Got in last night, late. Easy trip coming over.
Shows us it's possible, right? So,
yes, exactly.
Thank you for joining us today on the booth. We've asked you to think about 2022 and beyond, the travel program, the travel manager. What things should they be thinking about? What have you chosen?
I'm going to choose traveler well-being.
Okay.
And I'm going to make it a broad category. So a couple of elements of it. First one is to keep them healthy on the road.
Yeah.
Right? I think post-pandemic, people are going to want to be healthy, put in the proper hotels, exercise, the typical things they do. But then the second part, I don't think we're going to have as easy a road back in terms of what we need to prepare our travelers for when they hit a market. I'll use this trip as an example.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I needed to do to prepare to get here, whether it was a vaccination status, what do I need to do in town? I'm going to put that all under traveler well-being. So I think the travel manager of the future will project and predict what their travelers need to do at every destination and make it comfortable to get there.
So there's a couple of things there. One is, travel well-being was on the rise pre-pandemic.
Yes.
But you're saying the complexity and challenges we have now, they're not going away. This is long-term.
It's not so much staying in or being healthy, get your rest, travel comfortably. It's beyond that. To what am I concerned about going into the country I'm traveling to? And I think there's going to be a lot of trepidation on the part of travelers who haven't been on the road for a couple of years. So I think the travel manager future, they get ahead of that. I think you're going to have travelers that are going to respond to the program and say, wow, they're really looking out for me. And I think that's the most important part.
It's a real saleable point about why they should go through managed channels.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
How the program's looking out for them. The sense is that there's an opportunity for lots more products and services in this space.
No doubt. I think you're going to find a lot of app innovation that's going to help do the process. I think some of the programs I'm a shameless plug for Serko, but we have kind of a concierge concept on our mobile app that will help you with some of this. So I think, yes, that there's a combination of technology that should be wrapped around the traveler as they're heading out, and then while they're in trip.
Now, you represent the technology sector. You've always been you've been in that space for a long while. You've been very vocal about it. Is your sense that the tech space is stepping up to solve for this?
In some ways.
Okay.
In some ways. I think it's challenging. The infrastructure's not really there yet. So you're checking multiple websites. There's a bunch of companies that are rising to the top to say, let me aggregate all of that information that you need, make it easily available for you. For us, it's integration to multiple different content providers. So it's not trivial. It's not a trivial effort to do. And hopefully over time, the efforts of others will step up and we'll get there.
And how important is moving beyond Edifact into an API world to help to solve for that?
That's the future, right? Everybody knows that. Whether it's an airline offer, a hotel content that gets aggregated, or just the information at the right time pushed to the right device. All of that is kind of API based, and weaving that network of services together.
Yeah.
I think the travel manager of the future's got to focus on that.
So given the opportunity that API presents, given the need for the technology companies to step up and try and solve for this more complex well-being world, what should the travel manager be thinking about for next year? How much of a priority should this piece be? Do they need to get more involved in the tech they're using and the downstream effects of that tech?
Well, I've always recommended that for a travel manager. Never outsource things that are critical to your program.
Right.
And by outsource, you don't have to buy a solution, but you should be talking about your let's say your ecosystem partners.
Yes.
Your TMC, your airline partners, your hotel partners. What do they offer? How can they assist? But don't just outsource it and let the decisions be made by someone else. You have to understand what your program requires, what your travelers want, and then go out and figure out how to get it. And getting it might be, again, partnering with your travel management company or somebody else in the space.
Yeah.
But there's so much good tech out there. They gotta stay engaged.
And lots of new entrants as well,
Totally.
right? We've seen that, and it's going to be really interesting to see how they develop.
Yeah.
I think it's quite hard for the travel manager to stay on top of all of those new entrants and understand what the opportunity is.
You know, I know you only wanted one topic, and I went with traveler well-being, but the second topic I'll throw out there as a teaser is that I think travel managers have to understand the economics of their partners, okay? And that's something new. We saw a number of companies go out of business for a bunch of different reasons. So understanding the financial security, the backing of the companies you're doing business with, you never want to get caught short. That's another thing I think they need to start thinking about.
And linked to that, if we're talking about OBTs as well, is what are the incentives? What are the drivers of behavior? Things like reseller agreements, relationships with the TMC, whether you take control over the OBT relationship.
Yeah, the whole economic food chain needs to be understood. You need to probably get a little bit more aggressive in terms of understanding it and controlling it as best you can as a travel manager.
Tony, thank you so much for joining us. Our first interview is absolutely perfect.
Love to be first.
And you know what? It was serendipitous as well, because we bumped into each other. I'm like, come by the booth and...
Good stuff. Always great to talk to you. Good luck at the show.
Thank you.
Isn't it great that we're together?
Absolutely fabulous.
Wonderful.
Yeah, albeit with the right distance between us, but you know.
Correct.
Thank you very much, Tony.
My pleasure.